Welcome back to Monday Morning Mom. It's Erin Sarles, and I could not be more excited to be here. I'm so grateful for another episode. I think this is our 11th week now. And what this show is all about is I get real letters from real sports parents, and they write in similar to the Dear Abby column that you may or may not have seen as a child on your grandmother's fridge. Where Dear Abby, people would write in anonymously and she would respond back in the newspaper with her sound advice. So same thing's happening here. Sports parents are writing into me. I'm reading the letter and I'm giving you the advice on what I think you can do, should do, or what are my insights on the situation. And so I am super excited for today's letter because it's one of the most courageous ones I've received, not because of what the daughter said, but because of what the mom admitted. She didn't write to ask me if her daughter was being unfair. She didn't write in to defend herself. She wrote in because she wanted to hear the truth from her 15-year-old, and she had the integrity to receive it. And that kind of self-assessment is rare and deserves a real answer. And so let's read it. It says, Dear Erin, my daughter is a sophomore in high school. She plays basketball. She's good, genuinely good. And I have been her biggest supporter since the day she picked up a ball. 2 weeks ago, after a hard loss, she looked at me in the car and said something I haven't been able to stop thinking about. She said, Mom, I don't know if I'm playing for me anymore or for you. I didn't say anything. I didn't know what to say. I just drove home in silence and cried in the bathroom after she went to bed. Because she's right. I know she's right. I felt in a way I study her stats more than she does, in the way I replay bad games in my head for days, in the way my whole weekend mood depends on how she performed, in the way I talk about her basketball like it's the most important thing happening in our family, because somewhere along the way it became the most important thing to me. She handed me the truth and I didn't have the courage to receive it in the moment. And now I don't know how to go back and have the conversation we should have had in the car. How do I answer a question that honest when the honest answer is she's right? She called me out in Colorado. So, let's just let that sink in. And first and foremost, your self-awareness is probably the biggest applaud moment that I want to have here. For you to be so self-aware of what is going on here and going, okay, I'm really needing to sit with this. And for you to go, I need to find the right words and the courage to go back to her. That says so much about you. And so I think there's a couple things here. I think, your daughter acknowledged the quiet part out loud. And so I think it's caused you a real moment of pause. And so I think you have to look at it and go, God, is she right? And if she is right, which it sounds like you've already kind of acknowledged that, why is that? Why am I so overly invested in this? Where did that stem from? Why am I pouring more into this than maybe she is? Where would she have come to that conclusion? And I think it's also really alarming because it's like the other question we're going to have to unpack and get really curious about here is when her line was about, I don't know if I'm playing for you or me anymore. Well, number one, we always want our athlete playing for them. And so I think getting really clear, at some point, you two need to sit down and have a really honest conversation and get really curious. Hey, I want to know, you said this to me a couple weeks ago, and this has really been sitting with me. So first and foremost, I want to understand you. How much do you love basketball? What do you love from basketball? And then you have to take complete ownership of how you've been behaving. You can acknowledge that I love you. You're not excusing our behavior, but to go, you know what? This really made me realize my job is just to support you. So how can I best do that where you feel like you're still driving the bus, you're still owning this, and you're still the one that loves showing up, that loves going to practice, that loves the game, that loves the process. Like, and then you as a mom have to work through the detachment of, I'm here to just support. And whether she plays great, she plays terrible. She gets 15 recruiting offers, she gets 2 or gets none. You have to be completely detached. You have to get curious of what she wants and how you can best support her in that goal that she has. I think all of this comes from a very loving place of, if our kids said, I want to go on and play at the next level, we somehow take the ownership of, I've got to make this happen. I've got to hold them accountable. Oh, they want to go to the next level. How can I help them get there? We just have a tendency to do it versus like, okay, this is your dream. What are the resources I need to support you with to make this come true? While at the same time, you have to be the one that's driving the boat or the bus, young lady. You have to decide when you want to practice. You have to decide when you want to lift. You have to decide how you want to fuel your body, but when our kids think I'm going out there to perform because mom, I feel like she's either invested so much in me, I'm letting her down. She wants this for me so much. They should have no opinion. All they should know is you love them and you're here to support them. And whether they have the most stellar game or the worst game, either one doesn't matter. It's, what did you learn? What are you learning from this? And so I think first and foremost, you got to get curious with what she wants. Number 2, you got to take radical ownership and responsibility for the way you're behaving. Get curious about why she said that. What are you doing that's leading or causing her to think that? And then you've got to take ownership and ask her the feedback. How would supporting you look like? I want this to be your dream. I'm here to support you. What does that look like? And give her the opportunity to give you, this is what support would look like to me. And then you have to honor that way that they want to be supported. They don't want to talk about the game after a game. They don't, whatever she tells you, this is what would make me feel supported and make me feel excited about playing basketball. If that's really truly what she still wants, then you have to be able to then sit back, listen, and honor what she's telling you. And so, number 1, you got to get really curious around, where is she at? What does she want? And make it very clear, it doesn't matter what I want. Number 1, I love you. Number 2, I'm here to support you. And number 3, I take complete ownership that I've gone way too far in how I've perceived my support to be, where you're now perceiving this as you're playing for me, not yourself. So we've got to get this back in reorder. What does support from me look like to you that would not be construed by you as, I want this more than you do? And so that would be the first conversation I'd be having. I would also be finding ways to be spending time with her that has nothing to do with basketball. How do you show up for her that has nothing to do with basketball? Let her mood dictate how the weekend goes. Why is that dictating your mood? Hey, do you want to go to the movies this weekend? It'd be fun for us to go do something non-basketball related. Let them take the lead, but making sure that you're not shoving stuff down their throats to try to make it better also doesn't solve it. And so I just think you've got to do a lot less talking. You've got to do a lot more listening, and you've got to ask a lot more questions to understand where she is truly at and what she truly needs and what she truly wants. And then you have to take radical ownership and accountability for how you show up for her going forward, because she has to understand and you have to understand this is your dream and I'm here to support it. So the second you're not playing for yourself is the second you shouldn't be playing anymore. And so we need to find our way back to that. And I'm here to do the work to show you that I'm going to listen to your feedback and take it upon myself to show up differently. And then you have to hold yourself accountable to that change that has to be made based on what she's telling you. And so I appreciate that you being so vulnerable and so willing to put yourself out there, and you know it's a problem. So number one, again, my feedback is super, super simple. Get curious with her. Get curious. I want to dig into this. Help me understand this. Do you love basketball? Do you want to be out there? Number two, you said you're doing it for me. Let's talk about that. What am I doing that's giving you that? How can I change that? How can I be supportive of you? And you know that I'm here supporting you, but that you're not now showing up playing basketball for me. So you guys have got to sit down and hash that out. Find mom and daughter time that has nothing to do with basketball. Go do things where she can open up to you and she sees her as the important piece of it, not her, the basketball player, just her, and listen. You don't need to argue with her. You don't need to defend yourself. You just need to listen. You just need to get curious, because I promise you, she will tell you exactly what she needs, how you can support her. And actually, she's going to gift you one of the greatest gifts of your life of how can I be a parent that ultimately serves my child based on what they're telling me. So allow your daughter to be your teacher in this moment. Allow your daughter to help you grow and expand and step into what she's asking of you. And then you've got to be hyper aware of these are the behaviors that I need to exhibit that show support, but not she is out there playing for me. And you got to take full ownership. If you cross over the line again, you got to take full ownership. You got to apologize. You got to say, you know what, I did it again. I'm so sorry. I'm actively working on that, but here's how I can continue to support you and move forward. So it's not a bad thing for us to want to support our kids, love our kids, give them the best. But at the same time, our only job is to support and to provide them the resources and tools necessary in order to do this. And so, again, what a beautiful recognition for you as a mom. Take this opportunity to grow yourself in the most meaningful way that expands your relationship with your daughter, because you're listening to her, you're getting curious, and you're responding to her feedback. And I think that is incredible. So she called me out in Colorado. This is the greatest gift your daughter could give you. And I think it's a huge opportunity for you to step in and expand your relationship with her through what I've already shared. So until next Monday, drop me all your letters. They'll get read out. I'm here for advice. And if you need more one-on-one support, that's exactly why we started Blueprint to Blue Chip, not only for your student athlete, but for you as a parent, of how can you use athletics to grow and create the most incredible human beings, but not have their identity wrapped up in sport, which is what we just covered. So until next Monday, I'm Erin Sarl.